What is up, RotoGrinders? Running it back. Round two from two for the price of one. Price of zero, actually. These shows do not cost you anything. Just a like. Hit that like button. Do subscribe. Do turn on those notifications. Got a 7-game slate tonight. 6 on FanDuel. FanDuel, I guess, because of the restart of San Fran Atlanta, they didn't want to chance it. They thought maybe San Fran and Atlanta would go like 19 innings, and I don't know. That game would still be going on as far as the game they polished off earlier today. That is not on FanDuel. Barn burner going on in the World Cup, by the way. England, Croatia are just having a blast. It's a spectacular game. Keep us updated in the chat. It is returning champion Chris Prince, Beer Makers fan, as well as Derek Carty, CEO of the Bat and the Blitz. I was thinking about this, Carty. The boot. That's what we would go with for soccer. I think the boot is the best option.
I think it would have to be the boot. That's the term. That's what it's got to be.
You got 4 years, Cardi. Figure it out. You got 4 years to figure it out. I don't know if that's I'm going to give you more work. We do have content here, RG. But do you care for the soccer? Do you care for the football?
Not as much as other people, but I'll follow it a little bit when it's the World Cup.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on England, Croatia. It's been the Croatian goalkeeper. It should be like 5-2. He's been all over the place. Spectacular game, but we don't care about soccer in the show. We care about baseball. Again, 7 games for baseball, 6 on FanDuel. Beer, happy Wednesday. How are things?
Things are good. Watching a lot of soccer today, Dean. So we started a little late. No, didn't watch any soccer.
No.
Had boomer connection issues. When you become the old guy and technology escapes you. But here we are. Solid slate of games. Normally we get these split slates, not always as many games. So interesting slate here. But I am doing well, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing all right. We actually have some pitchers that I'm willing, I'm okay playing tonight, which was not the case this afternoon. And my lineups prove it. My lineups were a complete disaster. It did not work out for your boy, but that's the great thing about DFS. We're right back at it. Not the next day, but later on in the day. Right now, we have some pitchers that are worth talking about. We're still waiting for Pittsburgh and the Athletics as far as their lineup. That's the biggest total on the board, 10.5. Still waiting for Baltimore in Seattle. We just got San Fran, no Atlanta just yet. Maybe they're waiting on Michael Harris because he was dealing with a back. He may or may not play today. Didn't play yesterday, right? Luke Raley not in the Seattle lineup. He's dealing with an injury as well against a righty. He's always in, but he's out. So their lineup takes a little bit of a hit as well. Cardi, you want to give me the overview as far as the 7-gamer? How you seeing things as far as the slate?
I mean, pitching is kind of gross on this slate. Hitting, there's a couple of really good spots. So that's kind of the broad overview of tonight's slate. Pitching's rough.
We were talking about a pre-show. There's a pitcher I don't think we necessarily like, but there's an offense that is really, really attackable right now. They also lost one of their key players, I guess key players, depending on how you define that. But Cleveland, just an absolute disaster these days with the absence of some of their players, namely J-Ram. DeLauder is out as well. If you played Gasser last night, you survived that for sure. And now we got Brandon Sproat. If you don't love the pitching, maybe ekes out 12 points or so for you on DK, and that could be good enough. But, that's something I'm looking at as well. And on the other side, Gavin Williams looks pretty good. And I don't necessarily love Kirby, but this offense for Baltimore does strike out a fair bit. Don't have a lineup just yet. That ballpark does protect him in theory. Tough ballpark to hit out homers. And we do have some spots to spend up as far as salary. The Athletics, a 5 total against Braxton Ashcraft, but it is the ballpark that's really, really appealing. On the other side, Savali coming back from the IL. Pittsburgh with a 5.5 total locked in for 9 in Sacramento. And once again, stop me if you heard this before, another good weather game for the Cubs. Haven't quite seen this come to fruition, but again, a 6-team total that's not exactly hot. It's about 70 or so, but the wind is blowing out essentially to center field at 12 miles per hour. So a 16 total against the lefty, Sean Sullivan. Beer, big picture. Anything you want to say big picture, or you want to just talk about some actual pitchers? Oh, before I say that, I should mention, we're spinning the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel, and we have multiple gifts as far as, we start with one, and then Peterman, I think, gifted 2 of his wins earlier in the week to spin the wheel. So we're spinning the wheel 3 times to give away RG Premium. 3 individuals.
4 times if we can do 125 likes by the wheel spin, which we definitely can.
Yeah, we can make that work. We'll spin the wheel after we finish our tiers. So plenty of time, but don't come on. Make Steve's life easier. Just get in the Discord channel, rotogrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. He's got a post in there. It says Steve HOF in like aqua colored, and there's an avatar for an RG avatar. Just hit that avatar. Your name will be on the wheel. And again, at least 3 spins, possibly more, depending on how much y'all smash that like button. All right, Beer, give me the screenshot, the 30,000 foot view, and then talk about some pictures that you like. Take all the time you want. How many pictures you love tonight?
Yeah, well, there's not many. I'm with Cardi here, and it kind of feels like last night, Dean. You know, there wasn't anybody that we loved. It worked out with Gilbert and Gasper at the end of the day. Unfortunately, the Mets didn't want to cooperate, and who's surprised by that? The New York Mets letting us down, but they decided to do all their damage today, it looks like. But I think there's more options than we had last night. Obviously, you know, people are gonna all kind of conjugate around the same couple guys, and that's going to be Gavin Williams, George Kirby, and Carlos Rodon. I think those guys are going to dominate the ownership, and you can make a good case for any of them. I can poke holes in all 3 of them as well. You know, they both have their positives and negatives. I think Kirby, based on the matchup and that ballpark and what we saw last night with Gilbert, is probably the one people feel best about, along with Gavin Williams. Rodon is an interesting case. You know, the strikeout upside that he can bring to the table. Not the best matchup. You know, this is a White Sox team that has hit lefties extremely well this season. So a little scary there. You brought up Brandon Sproat, who likely will be the guy that, you know, people feel best about in the cheap seats. So those are the main characters tonight. I think Ashcraft is a very interesting case in tournaments. You know, huge range of outcomes here, and we don't love the ballpark, don't really love the matchup. He's the most expensive for some reason, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but he's shown a ton of upside in certain spots. So, you know, that one in tournaments is interesting when the other guys are going to be 30-40%. You know, you're paying up to be contrarian with him. And I'm going to bring one more gross one to the table here, Dean. You may enjoy this, you may not. Cardi probably going to hate it, but Anthony K is an interesting name here tonight. Look, it's mainly strikeout base and strikeouts against lefties, which has been his strength, near 30%. You look at the lineup, you know, Rice has had issues with strikeouts. We know Dominguez has had issues with strikeouts, Chisholm, you know, so there's 3 names right there, you know, with pretty high strikeout rates against lefties. So this is more of I'm building a lot of lineups. I want to get a little bit different, maybe not play to 30-40% on pitchers. He's in that pool. This is not a cash game play. This is not a one lineup play. And it's scary as hell. I'm not going to sit here and say I have all the faith in the world in Anthony K tonight, but adding another name to get a little bit different to the pool. But those big 3 are probably picking 2 out of 3 in your cash games and the majority of your lineups. And then I do like some Ashcraft in tournaments just for the ownership discount, as risky as it is.
K, really dramatic splits left versus right. You mentioned the 3 lefties, 29.7% Ks versus lefties. Love that. 13.6% versus righties. Hate that. 202 ISO. Hate that. 378 WOBA. That ain't great either. Cardi, give me your cash game pitchers first, and then your favorite pitchers beyond that as far as tournaments.
It's tough even to pick cash game pitchers tonight because, like, on a different slate, you wouldn't be considering any of these guys. But I think you probably wind up on Kirby, and then it's like, who do you pair him with? It's probably Gavin Williams or Rodon or maybe Brandon Sproat. I don't have a strong lean one way or the other on any of those guys. I think they're all okay, but with plenty of holes you can poke in their matchups and the reason for playing them. So it is what it is. That's the slate that we have to deal with. So yeah, I don't think there's a clear pair in cash games tonight.
You feel more comfortable with tournaments, talking tournaments as far as pitchers? I think Ashcraft's probably the most interesting one, especially if we currently have like 5 or 6% with the ownership. You know, it's being subdued with the game there in Sacramento, but I believe he's got one of the highest K rates on the slate. Let me go ahead and check that. 26.2%, which is close to. Gavin Williams is number 1. He's at the lowest Sierra on the slate. He's got one of the lowest walk rates, 5.5%. Really, it's the lowest because Sullivan doesn't count his 3 innings. He's got a ground ball lean, which you like in that ballpark as well. I think he's really interesting for tournaments, especially if that ownership holds somewhere around 5%. What does the bat have for Ashcraft? Is this something similar? Is he going to be single digits?
The bat has him 13%. So
Okay.
if he's that owned, I don't like him as much, especially given the price. But if he's like 5, I can definitely see it. I wish he was less expensive because I like him in general. I like the upside. I do think he's pitching over his head this year. I don't think he's quite this good. And he's obviously walking into a really tough matchup here, and he's very expensive. But I don't dislike it. If you think he's going to be 5% owned, then yeah, I can definitely see the upside case on him. Aside from him, names that I think are interesting, Kyle Bradish on the other side of the game from Kirby. I'm not a big Bradish guy, but it is the best pitcher's park on the slate. It is the best pitching weather on the slate. It's a decent enough matchup for strikeouts, most likely, depending on who we get in the lineup here. So I don't mind Bradish, and I don't hate Javier Assad on a slate like this, where all the pitching is kind of bad, and he'll come in low owned as well. He's cheap. We don't like the weather situation going on in Wrigley for him necessarily, but it is the Rockies outside, of course. And I don't have, at least my weather feeds doesn't have the wind as like crazy. It's not good, but it's not like crazy bad for Wrigley. So yeah, I don't think Assad is too wild to throw in your mix.
You think it's going to lower as the game progresses? We currently have it at 12 miles per hour. Weather Edge, a 89 game sample, which is a pretty good size, I think. In those games, similar weather, 48% bump in homers, 25% bump in runs, 68 temp, again, not very hot, 64 dew. Is that what you have? Something similar, 12 miles per hour, more or less?
That's around what I have, a little less. I have, depending on what time of the game you're looking at, I have between 8 and 12. But I have the first hour of the game and not really blowing out, like it blowing more to the side, which I think is helpful for the starting pitcher. So that's again, every weather feed is going to be a little bit different, and Wrigley is obviously super sensitive to it. But that's what mine has.
By the way, you mentioned the Mariners as far as what Bradish is going to face. It's Crawford, Raleigh, of course, is back. J-Rod. Rosaranda's on the IL if you missed that. Canzone, Cole Young, Robles, Emerson. So Connor Joe's in there right on right. You like seeing that if you're rostering the pitcher because, again, Rayleigh is not playing and Master Bueno in the 9 hole. So it's not the best Mariners potential lineup. If you're gonna play Bradish, I think it's a pretty good spot. Like you said, the ballpark's pretty good. Still waiting for Pittsburgh. Still waiting for Baltimore. Still waiting for Atlanta. Otherwise, we got everything else. Beer, is there anything we didn't talk about as far as pitchers? Anything we need to circle back on? I'm trying to take a peek at chat. Any names we did not mention? I don't think anybody's talking about. Assad was mentioned. You got anybody else, Beer, that you want to put a spotlight on?
No, I think the chat was asking about Chad Dallas.
Dallas.
I'm not going there. I know it's 4K and it's tempting, and you can load up on bat. I think there's enough value in the bats, so you don't have to do that tonight. So. Not for me. If you do it, I get it. It's a price play, but certainly comes with a lot of risk.
What are we expecting out of him? Like 3 or 4 innings starting? Chad Dallas, maybe?
I mean, there is some world where he doesn't even pitch and we see Simeon Woods Richardson instead. It looks like it's going to be Dallas as the bulk guy. I think, yeah, we probably see 3 or 4 innings out of him on average, but he's not a safe play and he's not a good play. He's, like Beer said, he's definitely just a price play. And I don't know if he's necessary on this slate. If he gives you 12 points, maybe that is good enough because pitching's so bad. But I do think he's an underdog to give you even 10 points.
If you missed it, yeah, Max Scherzer was scratched, which kind of the lefties for Boston are furious that Max Scherzer was scratched. Is he really hurt? Who knows? Maybe they gave him a mystery injury because he's been, as Cheese wrote in his article today, possibly the worst pitcher in all of baseball. He's been terrible. It's a hell of a run for Max, but
he got his 3,500 strikeouts. Now it's time to ride off into the sunset.
Is that what he was? Is I didn't realize that he has hit that. That just
He
happened.
hit that recently, last week, I want to say. So, I mean, hell of a pitcher, but his days are well behind him.
Carter, they're asking about Wisenhunt and Richie, the two pitchers for it's not game 2. They just finished up a game yesterday. J.R. Richie getting the call up here for Atlanta. We saw him earlier, and Carson Winston-Hunt. I think we saw it's not last year, the previous year. That's who's starting for San Fran. And this is DK only. Do we have any interest in either one of these pitchers?
Not really. If you have to play one, I'd prefer Richie, but I don't think either one would make my cut tonight.
Okay. Again, reminder, get the Discord channel and go ahead and thumb up the just click on the banner, the avatar where Steve put Wheel Wednesday. We're spinning that wheel after we do our tiers. Today's tier category, boys. Today's tier category. The news flow got me on this. So I don't know if you saw this or not, but Wencel Perez unavailable today due to a freak accident. He got hit in the face with a resistance band. So he's not available today, Wencel Perez. And it got me thinking about like the funky injuries you hear over the years for baseball players. So weirdest baseball injuries.
Sneezing.
I got one.
there you
How
go.
far back are you going? Who was the pitcher, the Guitar Hero? Tigers.
Joel Zamaya. Look, you guys are
Yes.
on it, man. It's like you guys saw the list. Yeah.
Oh, number one on the board, baby.
Look at that. You get control. You want to play or pass. Joel Zamaya, he was playing too much Guitar Hero, which certainly dates the story. I don't know if anybody's still playing Guitar Hero, but that would be spectacular if you are. They still making new Guitar Heroes? I don't know.
I heard they were coming back with it, but it's been a long, long time since I've been in those streets.
Is it going to be like 40-year-olds buying it, or is it going to be 16-year-olds buying it, or 40-year-olds buying it?
Depends on the tracks they're playing, Dean. Are they
True.
playing, old tunes or new tunes?
That's a good point. Yeah, so Joel Zamaya was playing too much Guitar Hero, and he had to miss World Series games. There was another guy who played too much Nintendo. I can't remember who that was. The Game Boy. He got arthritis in his hands, and he was playing too much Game Boy. Ricky Henderson fell asleep with an ice pack on his ankle, and he got frostbite, so he couldn't play for 3 games. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
I do.
Adam Eaton, speaking of being nostalgia, remember DVDs? You guys remember those? DVDs?
Yeah. Got a pile of them downstairs still.
Do you remember how annoying it was to open them? Like, did you get a knife out? Would you use your teeth? How do you open
a CD? CDs and DVDs were impossible to open.
So Adam Eaton opened a DVD with a knife, and he stabbed himself. So he missed his start. He's fine. He's still with us. Then Jeff Kent.
Good. That's good.
Jeff Kent washing his truck. This guy, Jeff Kent, in his contract, they knew Jeff Kent likes the motorcycle. He was popping wheelies, and he fell off his motorcycle, and he lied. And he said he was washing his truck, which he immediately went to the local car wash to give himself an alibi. But some people ratted him out. They said, no, we saw Jeff Kent. He was popping wheelies. And so he lost his pay for 4 or 5 games or so, whatever it was. They gave us all spring training. He went on to have a great season with Bonds. But, he wasn't really washing his truck. Gino getting knocked out. Sanchez punching the wall after he blew against the – yeah. There's a whole bunch of them. Zambrano's
a great list, Dean. It's a great list. I like it.
Cespedes fell off a horse. Remember that? Cespedes fell off a horse?
Yes. That could have made the list. That's probably number 6. We were expanding it.
Yeah. There was a couple others that were considered, but again, you can't. That's why let's just keep it to baseball. Maybe we'll do another sport another day. But and Jose Canseco, I didn't mention Canseco. He blew
this
out.
I don't remember.
He was pitching, he was mopping up the game, and he was pitching. He threw 33 pitches. So he destroyed his elbow, his UCL. He pitched, mopped up the game, and then was done for the year. That was it. He tore his elbow up, and and then the ball bounced off his head in a different game.
That I remember, the ball off the head.
But that's why I don't know if you see shortstops ending the game. A lot of times now they throw 55, 60 miles per hour. They're not trying to ramp up or do anything cute. Which baseball player tripped over his dog? I can tell you that Max Scherzer was bitten by his dog while he was rehabbing for a different injury, but I don't know who tripped over their dog. I'm not really sure. But yeah, J Ram knocking out Tim Anderson, which essentially, the splits of Tim Anderson before or after getting punched in the face are pretty bad. I'm not sure if that's a causation thing or what, but okay. Let's throw some teams and some tiers. You are the returning champ here, so you're going to go first. No coin toss necessary. You're here yesterday. The combination of Braden Fisher, we think Dallas is going to be coming in as the long man, but like Cardi said, maybe you got Wood Richardson against Jake Bennett in Boston. Are the Scots going to still be in town? They still going to be watching? They're still in town, right? Hopefully. That's going to be a rowdy crowd for sure. They are spectacular. They're having a great time. They're living their best lives in Boston. Jake Bennett taking on Toronto. Boston's the favorite here, beer minus 125 over a 5 total. What say you?
I think this game is interesting. Obviously, there's better spots that we're going to highlight, but I think both sides of this one you can make a case for. So Boston, we're not quite sure what they're going to go against, but it is a bullpen game. Some of these guys are finally starting to get it together here. Whenever you have a catcher hitting leadoff, that's always intriguing for a stack. So you always want to try to knock that catcher out when you can. Now, when you have some other options, you can obviously spend up on, and we'll talk about that in position by position. But I haven't played much Boston this year, but I do like the spot here tonight. So I'm going to put them in Sammy Sosa. I don't think they belong way up in the top tier, but pretty healthy team total here. And again, that matchup on a bullpen day is certainly intriguing. Toronto, I'm going to put in the same tier. Again, this is not a team that has produced. This is not a team that has hit lefties well as much as we want them to. The pricing on this team is fantastic tonight. If you talk about, value stacks to open up some, you want to get to 2 of those 9K pitchers, this is a team that's going to allow you to do that, yes, Vlad's been frustrating, but, strong history against left-handed pitching. Springer's starting to heat up. It's really a pricing thing here with Toronto, but I think they're too cheap. It makes it easy to stack. I'm going to put them in Sammy Sosa here as well.
All right, Cardi, how did beer do?
That looks pretty good to me. The pricing on the Jays really is fantastic tonight. The pricing on Boston's pretty good too. My only concern is if it's not Chad Dallas, if we see just like a straight bullpen game or something, that wouldn't be quite as ideal. So maybe I'd have them a spot lower, but I don't have a problem with them and Sammy Sosa.
So you mentioned Woods Richardson. He's not pitched since the 8th, and he stinks too. So that'd be good, right? Well, we're happy with either one.
If it was him, that would be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't talk about an ERA, but he's got a 7.14 ERA in the season, 0-7, which one loss. Who's the guy? Did you guys, if you ever want to know, Cardi, one loss record, how dumb one loss record is? Do you see who's the first person to get 10 wins in baseball?
Isn't it a reliever for the Brewers?
Yes.
Aaron
Ashby, yeah.
How dumb is one loss record, right? that is exhibit A.
Very dumb.
Like, what?
He better be the favorite for Cy Young now, right?
Oh, yeah. 20 wins incoming.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying about like, he's on pace to break the record for wins by a reliever. Like he's not going to win another 10 games. He's not going to be a 20-game winner. No.
Dumb.
No.
And I like the point about the bullpen game. Boston, you could get into some pinch hit scenarios and your guys don't get it. They decide to lefties, righties. You could not get as many as bats as you think out of some of these Boston guys. But if it is Woods Richardson, I like that even better. Like you said, Dean, that guy is not good. So I just think this game sets up well. The decent weather here. You can stack the game, but these teams aren't quite top tier, but they're pretty close.
Cardi, White Sox, Yankees, 8.5 total. We talk about K, like pretty dramatic splits. Really vulnerable to righties. Goldie looks pretty good here, I think. Obviously, the absence of Judge certainly weakens this lineup. They did start Jazz. They started Bellingers. They started Rice, some of their lefties. That could be more appealing later on in the game. Rodon, one of the more popular pitchers, I think, on the slate, taking on a White Sox team that has a team total at 3.5 against the lefty here, Rodon. Where do you put the Yankees and the White Sox, Cardi?
The Yankees I'd put in Jose Canseco. They're fine, but they're not as good as they are, obviously, with Judge in the lineup. K is not great, but he's not like awful. The pricing on them is not great. They're kind of just there for me today. Like you can play them, but there's teams I like better. As far as White Sox go, I'd probably put them in Adam Eaton just because, I mean, they don't project super well, but you do get a decent enough price on them, and you do get some leverage against Rodon, who will be one of the 3 chalkier pitchers on the slate. And if we spent the whole time talking about, well, none of the chalk pitchers are like actually that great. Well, I mean, that means you can theoretically stack against them, at least if you're running a bunch of lineups.
All right, Beer. Cardi has the White Sox and Adam Eaton. Tier 4, Yankees and Jose Canseco. He was a Yankee, right? Didn't he have a cup of coffee with the Yankees? Did I feel like, am I making that up?
I think so.
I think it happened. Beer, how did Cardi do?
He had a cup of coffee with a lot of teams towards the end there, but this is exactly where I would have put these 2 teams. Yankees are fine, expensive. Goldschmidt, obviously, the highlight here, has been destroying lefties this season. So, I gave my Anthony K pitch, and part of it is me closing my eyes, holding my nose, and hoping for the best, and those strikeouts come against the lefties. But these righties could certainly pose a big time problem for Anthony K. So they're fine right there. And the White Sox, a great point. They have been incredible against left-handed pitching this season. So Rodon has pitched great since coming back, but it would not surprise me to see him have some blow-up games, which we talked about in the beginning. Not loving any of these pitchers, like Hardy mentioned. This is an interesting stack if you are building a lot of lineups with the power in that lineup against left-handed pitching. So it's more of a contrarian building a lot of lineups, but the Sox are certainly intriguing on this slate tonight.
But you're not saying to move them. You like them where they're at.
No, I like them right where they're at. They shouldn't be bottom tier because there's, not many pitchers on this slate that are going to be good enough to put a team in the bottom tier, but not a team I'm running out to stack either. I can see the upside. I can also see, Rodon pitching well and you not wanting the White Sox. So interesting if you're building a lot of lineups looking for a stack to get off the board.
Beer, we mentioned Goldie, 72 at-bats this year versus left-handed pitching, 367 ISO, 538 WOBA. If there was a quick and easy way to describe Paul Goldschmidt when he's facing left-handers, what would you say? How would you describe that?
I think he's a little bit lucky if you're looking for one word.
I think he's looking for 2 words and don't appreciate it.
I was putting it on a T. I was trying to just tilt Cardi a little bit. I was trying to get you to say lefty master because Cardi doesn't like that.
No, I'm not. He's been lucky for sure. I mean, his batting average in balls in play is like 450. So, right there, he's always hit lefties pretty well over the course of his career. But we saw a little downtick. Now he's suddenly back. Lucky. I'm not going to throw the lefty masher out there and get my boy all upset.
You let the chat down. The chat's very upset at you right now.
That's all right. The chat can be as upset as they want.
All right. Let's see if you can do better here, Beer, with the Giants and the Braves. We just got the Braves. We did not get Harris. Harris not in. So DeBone. Mauricio DeBone is leading off. Baldwin, Olsen. Olsen's going to play. That guy's played like 800 games in a row. Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Eli White, Jorge Mateo, Yastrzemski, and they're running out 2 catchers. Sandy Leon is doing the in the old 9-hole. I think all we're waiting for now, we're waiting for Pittsburgh, waiting for Baltimore. Okay, we got everything else. We have J.R. Ritchie versus Carson Wisenhunt. They did clean up that game from earlier today, so some of these guys have played a little bit. I guess a half a game or so, give or take, whatever it was. You tell me. Beer, where are we putting the Giants and the Braves?
I think Atlanta's very interesting. Anytime you have a pitcher we don't have a lot of history on, people don't have a lot of stats to go on, that can help lower the ownership here. So I think it's a good spot for the Atlanta Braves. So I'm going to add them to the Sammy Sosa tier. Wisenhunt's been like a, mid-3s ERA guy in the minors. Strikeouts have been there, but this Atlanta team is always a team I want exposure to. Even some of the lefties hit left-handed pitching well. So lots to like about this Atlanta lineup. The Giants, I'll throw in Adam Eaton. I'm not overly excited about them. I don't think they belong way down in the bottom tier. We've seen them have some decent games from time to time. Richie, to me, just a guy. So I'm going to put them in Adam Eaton, but I'm not playing much San Francisco tonight.
Cardi?
I'm not as high on his Atlanta. partially because, I mean, I'm just kind of looking at this lineup now, but it doesn't enthrall me. So I would have Atlanta down a tier or two. And then the Giants, I'd probably have up one, but I'm not going to nitpick too much.
Do you have a Wisenhunt as far as his splits by chance offhand? Is he kind of neutral? Is he sort of like, is he a big lean as far as a split? That's the one thing that's kind of turning me off on Atlanta. Of course, it doesn't mean I can't play them. Just I prefer them
That
facing.
projection for a small split.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
That projection for a small split.
Okay.
Close to the average, or close to neutral rather.
Yeah, I mean Baldwin 315 ISO 84 plate appearances versus lefties. Obviously, that's awesome. Albies has been pretty good. I think that's actually his better side, if I'm not mistaken. And Olsen still hammers lefties just fine. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but you wanted to move it. I'll move Atlanta down to Jose Canseco, and we're going to keep the Giants. You said you're considering moving them up, but I think you sort of backed off on that.
I mean, I would have them up a tier, but that's just me.
You know what? Let's put the Giants with Jose Canseco as well. I do, if nothing else, I think Eldridge is underpriced. I think he's my favorite cheapie on the board, probably my favorite cheap first baseman, if nothing else. Cleveland, Milwaukee, 7.5 total. Gavin Williams, one of the more popular pitchers, take the bump against Brandon Sproat. Sproat is the favorite, -126. This Cleveland lineup, as we've kind of alluded to a couple times, it is decimated. The absence of J-Ram, Jose Ramirez, clearly the best hitter on this team by far, not even a conversation. Chase DeLauder is now gone. I think there's somebody else that's missing. I can't think of off the top of my head. Angel Martinez is not there. Yeah, it's not great. We're not sure how good Sproat is, but we did see Gasser hold this team down pretty easily yesterday. Unless you're afraid of Petey Halpin, good old Petey Halpin for Cleveland. Guardians, Brewers.
Yeah. The Guardians team is so bad.
They are horrible.
They're really cheap though, and Brandon Sproat is not like anything crazy. So I think I'd probably have them up in Adam Eaton just because of the pricing. But they're so bad. And then Milwaukee against Gavin Williams, I don't like a whole lot. I can see the case if you want to stack them to get some leverage, like it's the same kind of rationale you could use with the White Sox, but I think I like the White Sox more than I like the Brewers, so I'd probably have the Brewers down and Jeff Kent.
Brewers and Jeff Kent, yeah. Cleveland and Adam Eaton. Not a lot of offense here, Beer. You agree?
It's an ugly game for sure. So I would move the Brewers up a tier just for the fact of Gavin Williams going to be popular. Stack up the Brewers just to get different, but I don't think they belong in the bottom. I think both of these are Adam Eaton tier teams.
What do we think of Pratt, Gardy? How does the bat project Cooper? I mean, I assume it hates him because he's a rookie. We don't like Cooper Pratt, I guess.
No, I mean, what is he hitting 8th tonight? And he's a guy who has some speed, but not much power. More of a, kind of plate discipline, contact type of guy. Not the most useful in DFS for DFS purposes.
Yeah, and he's not like their top prospect, right?
No,
who's the guy that's there?
I think he came into the
Mate,
year
right?
Yeah,
that Jesus Mate is like the guy, right? He's like going to be the next superstar in a couple of years.
Can't wait.
That's what they're going to say about him.
Oh, Beer knows. Yeah, I should be asking Beer about this. Of course, that's his team. Yeah, Cooper Pratt, according to at least MLB, was the 4th highest prospect for the Brewers. I think this is entering the season. I'm not sure if this is updated or not. But yeah, Mate, I think is like top 2, top 3, depending on who you ask. And somebody probably has him at 1. Not this year, though, right? Next year? He's not coming up this year, most likely?
I don't think so. I think it's a next year thing.
He's still 19. Okay. Colorado and the Cubbies. Sean Sullivan taking on Javier Assad, 10 total. We mentioned the weather here. At least the wind, not exactly hot, but the wind is blowing out once again to center field. Lefty starting here for the Rockies and Sean Sullivan. Javier Assad on the other side. Beer, what do you got for me?
I think the Cubs are a top tier stack. As much as I would like the numbers to be better against lefties, specifically for some of these guys, Alex Bregman, I'm talking to you. it's still a good spot here against Sullivan. We do have that added benefit of the win, which is not 15, 20, 25 where you go crazy with it. But I still think it's a tremendous spot. PCA finally starting to get it going. Suzuki has generally hit lefties well in his career. So I really like the spot for the Cubs. So they are Zamaya for me tonight. And I think the Rockies are interesting. You know, we talked to Saad for sure, a decent pitcher, but this is a team can be very boom bust. You know, we've seen the good, we've seen the bad out of this team, but I think they put some runs on the board here, some decent prices on this team as well. I'm going to put them mid-tier. I'm going to throw them in Jose Canseco tonight.
All right, Rockies in Canseco, Cubbies in tier 1. Cardi, where were you? Do you remember? You're going to remember for the rest of your life. Where were you in PCA hit for the cycle? Do you remember?
I think I was sitting on my couch.
You're not going to forget it though, right? It was a single, clean single, right over like the second baseman's head. It was spectacular. It was beautiful. They even threw the ball out. They're going to keep the ball and everything.
Let's let Cardi settle our debate from yesterday. What's more dumb, the cycle or the combined no hitter?
The celebrate. What's dumber? It's a dumber thing to celebrate.
The combined. They're both kind of dumb.
Oh, they're both very dumb.
The combined no hitter is dumber.
There we go. I'll take that victory, Dean.
Let's take it to the chat. Let's take it to the chat. Well, producer Steve, put a poll up for the kids. What's dumber thing to celebrate?
Or if the chat has any other, what other dumb things do we celebrate in baseball? So add that to the chat.
I don't know. I'm curious to hear what the chat has to say. Combined no hitter. Where was Dean when LeBron hit a double? Well, that's like every night. Like where was I for the last 20 years? That's what he gets a double all the time. Triple doubles too. Okay. We shall, and I have no adjustments here. Cardi, did you officially make a call, or I derailed the show?
I didn't, but this is where I'd have them too. I think there's one team better than the Cubs tonight that's kind of like on their own tier. They would be my S tier, if you will. But unless we're only going to have one team in the top, then I'd have the Cubs up there too.
Jerry says the NBA play-in tournament, which they're trying to make happen. It's a fetch kind of thing. New York won it actually this year, right? I think I kind of like it too, and I think the players seem to care, and also like the 15th man who's like not making millions gets paid, nice bonus. All of everybody in the team. Yeah, I kind of like it, although I understand why you would say that. Let's see. Can I touch on the NBA draft? I don't know about NBA draft. I can't help you out with that until they get to the NBA. I know the top 4 guys are supposedly really good. That's all I know.
That's a good draft this year.
Yeah, are you locked in on that? I'm not really locked in on it. And the Heat probably lose their pick to Milwaukee. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not fully locked in, but that used to be one of my favorite events back in the day, and it's gotten to the point you hardly know any of the names, but this draft very, very top heavy, and it does have some depth, so it should be interesting.
We have 2 more games to go. Keeping that like button again. This is kind of like the last call. Get in the wheel. Get in the Discord channel. RotoGrinders.com/Discord. The live stream chat channel. Make Steve's life easier. Do not do it at the last second. He wants to put your name in the wheel. We're going to be spinning it at least 4 times. If you get 125 likes, so keep hitting that like button. Do subscribe. Turn on those notifications so we know we go live. Speaking of going live, tomorrow we're running it back. We're going live twice once again because it is split slate on Thursday. So afternoon slate, night slate. So 2 more shows tomorrow. Okay, 2 more games to go. Next up, it's Baltimore and Seattle. I'm still not seeing a Baltimore lineup just yet, which is not terribly surprising. The game doesn't start for 3.5 hours. 7.5 total. Kirby, one of the more popular pitchers on the slate here. Cardi taking on Kyle Bradish. Again, no Baltimore lineup, no Luke Raley for Seattle, no Rosarena, so kind of a weakened Mariners lineup as well. How do we feel about the offenses?
I don't love either of them. I think if you're going to play one, I'd prefer the Orioles, and you get the leverage off of Kirby. So if we have the White Sox and we have the Brewers and Adam Eaton, I think you kind of have to put the Orioles with them there too. And then I'd have the Mariners and Jeff Kent. They're facing, again, I'm not a huge Bradish guy, but he is one of the better pitchers on the slate. The Mariners lineup is not awesome. It's not a great environment, not a great park, not great weather. Yeah, so I'd have the Orioles and Adam Eaton. I have the Mariners and Jeff Kent.
All right. Not a lot of offense here, Beer. What say you?
Fine with the Orioles. I'd move Seattle up to that same tier. Adam Eaton here, and not a game I'm searching out much as far as hitting goes. Both pitchers interesting. I think you can get a little bit of leverage with both of these teams, but not an overly exciting game as far as offense goes. But Cal Raleigh being back, helps the Seattle lineup a little bit. I think they both belong in Adam Eaton.
Yeah, I'm going to move Seattle up to Eaton. I know Bradish coming into the season had a lot of hype, Cardi, a lot of the season-long people. He was like a top 100 pick, maybe top 80, top 90 or so. It's been pretty disappointing. Yeah, I'm not saying you drafted him, but people were. For some reason, he was overhyped. I didn't really get it. Well, it was the same. It was extrapolating like small samples and saying, well, if he just does that for 150 innings, like that kind of thing, and he was good, and then now he has not been so far this season. Also, Cal Raleigh is, if this is 90% of the guy we saw last year, and I don't know if it is, but 2.7 on FanDuel, 2.7. Come on.
Yeah, it's a great price. I don't think we're getting 90 out of him though. That's the problem.
Yeah,
he's operating more like 40 right now. So, but that is a great price. That's part of the reason I slid them up a little bit.
They want to know if you bet the Orioles, Cardi. Would you bet the Orioles on the money line? I know you have the bat. If you're subscribing to the bat, you get yourself not just Eric Cardi's the bat, but you get as a separate add-on comes with it. You get the Cardi's MLB betting picks, but those are typically player props. Those are not sides and totals. But you have a take on that?
Yeah. I mean, I do project sides and totals, so I'm looking at it right now. Looks like the best you can get it at right now is like plus 135, plus 140 or so. The Bad X thinks the fair price should be minus 116. So yeah, I would bet it. I think you're getting good value on that.
There you go. Still no Pirates.
Hold up. That's tomorrow's game. There is still a little value on tonight, but not as much.
Cardi, maybe you can touch on this one as well. The chat is bringing up that apparently, I have to confirm this now. Apparently, Bradish, the last time out, Seattle beat him up. So that means he has to get beat up again. You're not factoring that in because he pitched 4 innings and gave him 3 home runs. Is that going to happen again? It has to happen. Is that not how that works?
I completely forgot to factor that in. So yeah, you might as well just move Seattle all the way up to Jules and Maya.
Beer, you want to reconsider as well, or?
I mean, we just saw this matchup. So Kirby had 10 strikeouts against Baltimore. So we gotta throw him up to the top of the pitching, the top pitcher easily. I mean, it's a 1-game sample. It's another game of seeing these teams' pitchers. Pitchers are going to make adjustments. Hitters are going to make adjustments. So I'm not basing it on what just happened in the last meeting.
Pittsburgh Athletics, Savali returning from the IL, taking on Braxton Ashcraft. I think the Athletics lineup was as expected, except Jonah Heim stuck in there. If you want a cheap catcher, was it Cortez he's playing for? I think it's Cortez he's playing for. No Pittsburgh lineup as of right now. Okay. Beer, Pirates, Athletics, 10.5 total. Both these teams, the team total above 5. What say you?
I absolutely love the Pirates tonight. I don't say that very often, but they're my top team by far tonight. They're the team I have the most exposure to in this spot. So Pittsburgh, easy tier 1 for me here tonight. The Athletics are the interesting one. The team total's healthy. We talked about Ashcraft. We're going to get good. We're going to get bad. I'm going to put them in Sammy Sosa, even with that high tier total. I think Ashcraft is very intriguing tonight. I like Pittsburgh and the Cubs better than I like the Athletics tonight. So they probably belong in Zamaya, but I'm going to put them in Sammy Sosa here. But Pittsburgh is a team I have across almost every lineup I made, some type of, whether it's a 5-man, 4-man, 3-man, some Ashcraft, combination of all the above. I really like the spot for Pittsburgh tonight.
Savali, the most homers per 9 in the season, 1.94. Fly ball lean, tough ballpark to have a fly ball lean. We got Pittsburgh joining the Cubbies, and then we have the Athletics in Sammy Sosa. We didn't have Sammy Sosa and the Cubs together. I just realized, but that's just how it works out sometimes. Cardi, did Beer nail this one?
Yeah, the Pirates are far and away the best on the slate tonight. I agree. They're awesome. They're facing Savale, who the bat thinks is really bad, and they're doing it in the best hitter's park. It's 102 degrees with 15 to 20 mile per hour winds blowing out. Like, it's a great spot for Pittsburgh tonight. And by that logic, it's a great spot for the A's also. I like the A's just as much as I like the Cubs tonight, and I think they're going to come lower owned. So I think if we have the Cubs and Joel Zumaya, I would make the case to put the A's up there also. But I do think Pittsburgh's kind of like a tier above everything today.
Yeah, and also I think Ashcraft's pretty good. So I like the Athletics fine, but I don't think they're the same tier as the other two. Certainly if they had the most runs this slate, it wouldn't shock me. But I'm going to keep the A's in Sosa. Nobody hanging out with Jeff Kent, not even the Giants. I'll recap the board. We're going to spin the wheel here. So I power ranked freak MLB injuries based upon we saw Wenzel Perez earlier today could not play because he hit himself in the face with a resistance band. Joel Zumaya back in the day was playing too much Guitar Hero, so he could not play baseball in the World Series. The two teams that are with him in Tier 1, Pittsburgh and the Cubs, Sammy Sosa famously threw out his back sneezing. Violently sneezing is the way it was described. I don't know what the difference between sneezing and violently sneezing is, but a violent sneeze from Sosa, maybe rapid fire. Boston, the Athletics, Toronto. Canseco blew out his elbow for the season, pitching, mopping up in a game it didn't matter. Tier 3, Yankees, Braves, San Fran, Colorado. Tier 4, Adam Eaton opened up a DVD with a knife and stabbed himself. That's Tier 4. He pitched for the White Sox, didn't he? Look at that. White Sox, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Baltimore, Seattle. And Jeff Kent is a big liar, him and his mustache. He said that he was washing his truck. And in actuality, he was on his motorcycle and he fell, and he's not allowed to do that per his contract. And that is that's our 5 tiers. Okay, let's do it. Producer Steve, you've compiled the names. The wheel is good to go. I think we're spinning it four times, if I'm correct. I think we have enough likes for 4 times. So here we go. Shout out to MT Red Sox. Keep in mind, by the songs, I want you guys to power rank the songs. It's going to change. So remember that song, and now we're going to power rank the songs at the end. Winner number 2. Shout out to Iowa Boy. That is the winner in my book. I don't think we're topping that song. You guys tell me, but I was rocking out of my head.
It's definitely the winner so far. No doubt.
Let's see. Maybe we can top that. It's me, Mallory, week free of RG Premium. That was pretty good, too. A pretty good contender, if nothing else. From Fresno as well. What video game was that from? That had to be from a video game soundtrack.
I was just going to say, that's like a Contra or a Mega Man. Like the third song, I felt like I was at a high school football game. In the fourth one, I felt like I was back playing Nintendo.
Producer Steve's going to hook y'all up the Discord channel. Let them know, confirm that you want RG Premium. You can get scores and odds if he will allow. We'll juice you up with some RG Premium in the Discord channel. Thank you all for playing. Back next Wednesday. Shout out to Peterman, who donated several wins earlier in the week to the wheel. All right. Quick recap as far as pitchers. We're going to go around the horn, position by position, and then we're going to get to your questions and chat. I think we're right on time, right? 6:45 is first pitch, so 24 minutes, plenty of time. Cardi, give me the pitcher recap. What do we feel super strong about, or decent enough at least to click the buttons?
Yeah, not a great pitching slate tonight, but Kirby, Gavin Williams, Carlos Rodon, probably the top 3 guys. Brandon Sproat, for his price and against this weak Cleveland lineup, I think is really interesting. And then after that, you're kind of taking shots. I think Kyle Bradish and Javier Assad are interesting. I know Beer mentioned Ashcraft being interesting for his upside. So yeah, that's pitching.
Beer, anything you want to add as far as pitchers? Do so in just a second. I do want to tell the people about the World Cup. I kind of alluded to it. Shout out to England. England took down Croatia. They won 4-2. If you want our World Cup coverage, World Cup Soccer Premium, $24.99 for the month. It includes coverage and projections for the 2026 World Cup. After the World Cup is over, the soccer package, it will continue. It includes, of course, Lineup HQ, the Optimizer. It's loaded with player projections of the EPL, the UCL, all the goods, all the bells, all the whistles. You get the filters as well. If you have RG Premium right now with all the other sports, you get the World Cup. Just it's coming along with it. You know, it's right there if you want it, if you need it. Beer, anything you want to add as far as pitchers, by all means, go for it. Otherwise, take me to catcher.
No, Cardi nailed it. Got the big 3. Ashcraft to me is a pay up to be contrarian in tournaments. Sproat, I'm not as excited about, but I do like the price. And I'm plugging my nose and playing a little Anthony K and hoping those strikeouts are there against lefties. Catcher, I think there's a lot of ways you can go here. I think there's a lot of intriguing plays. You can always pay up for Langeliers, Goodman. Fine with that. You can play Cal Raleigh on FanDuel, super cheap. Drake Baldwin, even lefty and lefty, super interesting. But Kirk is a guy I have a lot of hitting cleanup tonight against the lefty. So he's in some lineups. Gasper hitting leadoff, I think is great value. And Henry Davis, if he's in the lineup, going to be likely way down the lineup, but that's going to keep the ownership way down as well. I like him tonight as well.
Cardi, your favorite catchers tonight are who?
Yeah, Henry Davis is the guy that I'm waiting to see if this lineup comes out with him in it, because he has legitimate power and the spot is fantastic. So I'm hoping that Henry Davis is in there. Obviously, he's not as good as, Langeliers or Goodman or Drake Baldwin, but he's definitely, I think, one of the better catchers tonight, and he's really cheap. So if you're not paying up for Langeliers, I'd much rather just go down and pay for or save money on Davis.
Take me to first base, please.
Yeah. Nick Kurtz is your high-end guy, but he's really expensive. And you have Spencer Horwitz on the other side of the game leading off. Well, probably leading off. I mean, we don't have the lineup yet, but probably leading off for 4K. And he doesn't project that much worse than Kurtz because, the spot for Pittsburgh tonight is just so good. So I love Horwitz tonight. I think he's great. In tournaments, I think Vlad is really interesting at his price. I like him in that park. I like him at the price. I like him with the platoon advantage against a weak pitcher. And then I think the Giants guys are kind of interesting too. Rafael Devers and Bryce Eldridge for 3-1 is definitely a guy you can take a shot on for power.
Yeah, on DK, I wish I can play both of them, but I can't. I think both have a really good price, actually. Of course, on FanDuel, you can play both. You can make that work, but put to a decision point. I don't think I'm stacking San Fran, but I like them. I like both those guys for a potential homer, and Atlanta, a nice ballpark jump. Here, what do you have as far as first?
Yeah, DraftKings, sometimes you wish you had, the little flex spot where you could get multiple guys like this from the same team. But Kurtz, yes, agree. But that discount to Horwitz is fantastic, $2,400 discount. So it's mostly Horwitz and Vlad Jr. For me. Goldschmidt, the guy I'm mostly worried about in that lineup against K, but he's certainly in play against the lefty. And Eldridge, I prefer the discount there as well. At 3,100, but a lot of Horowitz, and I'm going to play a lot of Vlad tonight. Second base, love Brandon Lau. He's going to be the majority of my lineups. If I'm not using him, I have some Cubs, so Nico Horner at 4,100, some Ernie Clement at 3,100 at second base and shortstop. That's pretty much the pool. I'm trying to get as much Brandon Lau as I can.
Yeah, how much are you prioritizing Lau, Carter? You've talked about the Pirates being your favorite team. I assume he's one of your favorite bats. Platoon advantage, awesome ballpark, yada, yada, yada. Savali, very attackable, fly ball lean, fly ball problem, home run problem. Lau, is he like a big priority for you at second?
Yeah, he definitely is. He's expensive, but he's worth it. If you can spend up for Lau, you're going to be happy with it. He will be very high owned, so I don't mind being a little bit different, especially if you're doing a Pittsburgh stack and you want to make it different. You can play Nick Gonzalez at second. You can play him instead of Lau. I think Ozzy Albies is really interesting against Wisenhunt. I think Travis Bazzana, even though he's a rookie, I think he's interesting leading off against Sproat. And that's kind of it for me at second base.
Take me to third base, please.
Third base doesn't have that like high end guy that guy that projects really well that a lot of the other positions have today. But I think Miguel Vargas is my favorite play for tournaments. You get the platoon advantage against Rodon. You get the nice Yankee Stadium park. Vargas, I think, is really, really good. He's expensive, so that's going to keep the ownership down a little bit. I think Vargas is really interesting. But in terms of saving money, I think Matt Chapman is still too cheap. He started off the year really cold, but he's been really good of late, and the price just hasn't risen accordingly. So I think Chapman for 3.6 is great. I think Okamoto in Fenway with platoon advantage against Bennett hitting third tonight, only 3.2K for him. I think he's really interesting. And then if you are going to play a Pirate here, Tyler Callahan is only 2.8K. I don't like him. He's not as much of a priority as other Pirates are for me tonight, but he's definitely a guy that you're going to, be considering.
Yeah, still no Pirates lineup, still no Baltimore. Again, it's 3 hours out, so it's not terribly surprising. Hot Corner Beer, third base. What do you got for me?
Okamoto's my favorite. That price is insane for him, in my opinion. We brought it up with Toronto. The biggest appeal on them is price tonight. So 3,200 against the lefties. Sign me up for that. I do like the value on Callahan tonight. I'm playing some Alex Bregman, as bad as it's been. I do like the Cubs stack tonight. And then you get the flexibility with Nick Gonzalez at second base or third base here. So that's pretty much the pool for me there. So Gonzalez kind of carries over. Trilio, however you say his name, like him for the Athletics that I mentioned. Ernie Clement. So I think it's a great spot to save some money tonight at shortstop. There's really not, unless you're going up to Gunnar Henderson, Colson Montgomery. There's not a lot of appeal in spending up here. Sure, Gunnar could hit one off of Kirby, no doubt, but I think this is definitely a spot that you can save some money on. Jacob Wilson in that same category. Good value here with some of the Athletics guys.
Yeah, Gunnar's pretty interesting to spin up on because Kirby's going to be one of the most popular pitchers, and similar to second, like he's clearly the best shortstop. It doesn't mean like the field. Give me the field against Gunnar. Like if it's one or the other, but that's not how things work. But he's got the best chance, I think, to get there, and I don't think he's going to get much attention here as far as prioritizing his salary. Cardi, how do you feel about shortstop? I'm assuming we live in the world of a salary cap, so it's hard to get to Gunnar if you're prioritizing Brandon Lau. If not Gunnar, or tell me Gunnar, who?
Yeah, it's Triolo. He projects better than everybody on this slate, except for Gunnar Henderson at shortstop. So for 2.5K, like as soon as he's in the lineup, he looks great tonight. I do think, though, there are some really interesting one-offs or guys to play in mini stacks. Willie Adames against Richie, I like a lot for his price. I think the power upside is really big for him. Colson Montgomery against Rodon, I like quite a bit. And then Dansby Swanson is really cheap in a Cubs lineup that I like tonight too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out how to handle my lineups as far as shortstop. And I like the I guess the potential. I know Adames has kind of faded away as far as his power, but nice ballpark jump for him. Not afraid of Richie. Okay, we got some outfielders for the people, Cardi. I should say, plenty of questions for to get to. Load them up in the Discord channel, RotoGrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. We're going to have 10 minutes or so to knock out questions. If you do not put your questions there, now will be a good time to start putting them in the YouTube so producer Steve can grab them and throw them up on the screen. I need some outfielders, Cardi. What do you got for me?
Yeah, we can start with the Pittsburgh stuff. Ryan O'Hearn, Brian Reynolds, Tyler Callahan again. They're all in just fantastic spots. a little expensive, but not like prohibitively so. Like you can definitely get them. But if you need to save money, there's definitely some stuff in the mid tier that I like. Some stuff in the Toronto Boston game in particular. George Springer is too cheap. Wilyer Abreu is too cheap. Rafaela for Boston is too cheap. I like that game quite a bit in the outfield. And then Seiya Suzuki is a guy that I like a lot tonight too.
I was excited to play, I guess everybody else, Abreu at 3.8. How much less excited should I be? Because I wanted to pick on Max, but he's still good. He's still fine, right? 3.8.
Yeah,
Abreu, it's pretty fair.
Still too cheap.
Yeah, I just thought like he was one of my favorite plays in the slate when you consider salary. Beer, what do you have as far as the outfield?
Love the Pirates, guys. As we both seem to like the spot, and I don't know how you can't like it. I mean, it just sets up so well for them. So any combination of those guys, Reynolds, O'Hearn, the value you get with Callahan, the flexibility, if you want to use him on the infield or the outfield. Love Springer. He's going to be in a bunch of my lineups. I like all the Cubs outfielders. PCA, like I said, heating up. Has hit lefties pretty well. Suzuki has always hit lefties well. And Jake Mangum, if he makes the lineup tonight, we'll see. But another source of value from that Pittsburgh team. But Toronto, Boston, Pittsburgh, I think that's where the majority of my outfielders are coming from tonight.
Hey, Cardi, who do you like better as a one-off? You like Baldwin or Goodman?
Goodman. But I do like Baldwin too.
Yeah, I like them both. Probably not getting the Langoliers, but that I got the salary for one of those too. Okay, I need some homers. Who's going yard? Who's going yak? Who's banging one out? Cardi, can I get the 3, give or take, depending on. Surprise me. Who's taking one out tonight?
Yeah, so at the high end, it's maybe it is a surprise, but I like the A's guys. I think Langoliers and Kurtz are both elite home run threats tonight. In the mid range, it's going to be a lot of these Pirates guys. Give me like Ryan O'Hearn, I guess. And then at the low end, give me Jared Triolo.
All right, Beer. See those homers. Raise them. What do you got?
I got 5 for you, Dean, but I feel like we should check on the likes to see how many of these we should give away. I'm gonna pull a TJ here. So
we had at least 125 when we spun the wheel. Have the likes halted now that we gave away an extra spin? We got to keep giving the people, keep teasing them with something.
All right, so we'll give 2, and then we'll see how Steve can keep us updated on how the likes go. I mean, Brandon Lau's easy. I'm not going to give you that. It's plus 270, but he is one that I bet tonight. Akamoto at plus 425. I really like, and I liked Paul Goldschmidt at plus 475. Got a couple other ones near plus 500, plus 550.
Because
what's
sorry, go ahead. I halted this up.
You if you want to piss him off with that, go for it, man. I'm not here to make the guy mad. The chat can do it. Dean can do it. So I'm gonna leave.
I'm just a vessel for chat. I'm just here on their behalf, basically. But continue. Go ahead.
I'll be a vessel for Cardi. I ain't doing it. So a couple more. I think we was at 141. So if we can get to 150, 175, I'll give you 2 more that are right around plus 500.
All right. Questions that I'm seeing in the Discord channel. I don't know if you saw this picture of you, Cardi, with a beard. Have you ever tried to grow a beard before? Can you grow a beard?
I cannot grow a beard. Certainly not as thick and luscious as the beard that they have this on me in this picture. So no, I can't grow a beard.
Yeah, shout out Blink-182. Rue having a good time with AI. He's been doing that throughout the week. That is a pretty spectacular beard. We're at 159. What was the threshold we wanted? 150?
150 and 175. So we'll add another one here. I'm going to say Vlad hits one out. I know it's been ugly, but you're getting some great prices on him. So I got him at plus 470 earlier today. So we'll add Vlad, and I got a plus 550 waiting if we can get to 175.
Not a question, but Iowa Boy just wanted to let you know, Beer. I seen you in the back of a magazine many years ago, and you are the reason I got into DFS. Thanks. And I miss the shows? Is that what that's saying? The OG shows. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I love hearing that. You know, it seems like a million years ago, but the more people we could bring into this space, the better. So appreciate that and happy you're here.
Yeah, Beer took down the FanDuel final for football in 2012. Is that close?
2012? 2011.
Did I nail it? Okay, there you go. Trying to find. Okay, we gave out the winners here in the live stream chat, so I'm trying to find some of our questions. Okay, Peterman's got a question for Cardi. We'll put him to the front of the line because Peterman donated several of those spins. Who is the cash shortstop on DraftKings? I missed it. Never mind. We're not there yet. So maybe who would you play as a? I'm just reading. I'm Ron Burgundy, man. Throw it up in front of me. McCarty, your shortstop. Yeah, we're assuming he's playing. Obviously,
so they got you today, Dean, but yesterday with the old Marcus Semien, they didn't get you.
Beer D-Rock. D-Rock's got a question for you. DK tournaments: Triolo and Abreu versus Callahan and Wilson. That is some garbage, right? That's some garbage we're talking about.
No, that's not garbage. First set.
Yeah, it's not exciting. Jay Brunton, DK tournaments for Cardi, Kirby, and Gavin Williams with Mangum, or upgrade from Mangum to Burt Reynolds. It's B Reynolds. He's having some fun here. Probably don't want Burt these days. He was a good. What did he play for Florida State many years ago? Linebacker, maybe. Maybe he was a running back. Yeah. So do you want to upgrade Mangum to Reynolds with K and Ashcraft? I think you want to stick with Kirby and Gavin Williams at Mangum, but you tell me, Cardi.
Yeah, assuming Mangum's in the lineup, I'd rather go that route.
Let's see. MT Red Sox is it okay to play Bradish and Kirby on the same line on DK. I mean, we don't. Do you care about that, Beer? Like, okay, big whoop. You don't get 2 wins. I don't care about that.
Well, he said, would you rather play Rodon over Kirby, though?
Oh, or would you? Okay, but like not for that reason. But like,
would you rather? I don't go out of my way to avoid it.
If you like Rodon better, then so be it. But like, would you get away from it because it's the same team, same game? Yeah.
Sure, you lose the win equity, but I don't. What if it's a pitcher's duel? Then you might need them both. So I don't. That's not part of my process.
Cardi, new generation DK tournaments: Gasper or Kirk? Alejandro Kirk. Which cheap catcher do you like?
I think they're both interesting. I prefer Henry Davis, assuming that he's in the lineup, but I think I give a slight lean to Kirk over Gasper.
5 minutes until lock. Still no lineups there for Pittsburgh. No lineup just yet either for Baltimore. A few more questions here in the Discord. I do want to hit those YouTube questions as well. Allen's Club for Beer. Pay up for Goodman and a cheap outfielder, or Davis and pay up for an outfielder on DK for single entry. So like Goodman and Davis.
Davis and spend the money somewhere else.
We need another homer. 178 likes, Beer. We got an update. You got a homer call with the people plus 550, you said?
Plus 550, Jaron Duran. So a lot of home runs coming out of that Boston Toronto game. He's been locked in here over the last month. I like the spot for him tonight. So Jaron Duran, your last home run at plus 550. And appreciate the likes, people. Like yesterday, we kind of lacked a little bit, and let's push it to 200 now. Let's keep.
You got to bribe a little bit. Obviously, you got to bribe a little bit. I suppose that's just how that works. Falcor, FanDuel, Springer, or Suzuki? Cardi, Suzuki or Springer?
Suzuki for me, but I like them both.
I think that's it for the Discord channel. If we have some questions. Okay, so how about this? How does this change things? Suzuki or O'Hearn on FanDuel for you, Cardi?
O'Hearn.
DK single entry. It's questions here are going to be on the screen. Steve, thank you. Jays or Red Sox mini to go with the Pirates? Who do you prefer, Jays or Red Sox, Beer?
Jays. I have some Pittsburgh Toronto lineups in different ways. That's one of my favorite combinations tonight.
Cardi, Riley wants to know Kirby and PCA or Rodon and Vlad for FanDuel.
Kirby and PCA.
All right. Few minutes until lock. More questions coming on through. I'm seeing Eddie wants to know Vlad or Horwitz for FanDuel cash. Vlad or Horwitz. What a question. It's a real question, right? Cardi. But Horwitz or Vlad for FanDuel. It's legit. It's tough.
It feels crazy, but it's Horwitz for me.
Yeah, it does feel crazy, but I get it.
I agree, by the way. I think Vlad is an awesome tournament play, but who would have thought Horowitz is the safer play in the better matchup, better hitting environment.
The real question is, what will PSHOF be programming with tomorrow at 7 a.m.?
Producer Steve Hoff.
What? That's producer Steve Hoff.
Yeah.
That's I was not getting there. Okay.
I don't know. My
I
friend
was
said he just went and grabbed tequila, so I guess tequila at 6 a.m.
There you go.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Steve's going to be at the parade tomorrow. And, yeah, we were talking pre-show about it, getting an early start, celebrating New York. Caballero or Clement on FanDuel, Cardi?
Probably Clement, but I'm not in love with either one tonight.
Beer wants to know if you'd play Assad on FanDuel for tournaments. I don't think I would.
Cardi's a little higher on him than I am tonight. This pitching pool is not great, so sure, I'm not super excited about it, though. I think there's better options.
I'd be more apt to do it on DK, where it's like an SP2, but like in FanDuel, I think he's going to make it work. Is that kind of where you're at as well, Cardi? Assad is better played on DK as an SP2, or are you okay on FanDuel as well?
Definitely better played as an SP2 on DK.
Cardi, just a follower wants to know on FanDuel, how about a low-owned Pirate and Callahan? Short sample, he has hit the ball hard. Yeah, we have not seen a lot of them just yet, but we're not certain he's in the lineup, just to be clear.
And I don't think he's going to be low-owned either, but
I think he'll be more owned on DK.
What's that?
I think he's going to be more owned on DK.
Yeah.
Just he was talking about on FanDuel, but yeah, I don't think he's sneaky, like the point you're making. Let's see. Any other questions lurking? Got about a minute or so until I guess we're locking up right about now. Beer, anything for the road? Any words of wisdom for the people?
No, good luck tonight. Appreciate the chat involvement as always, and getting those likes up. I mean, the show is free, and that's how we continue to bring it to you for free, is you guys taking a second doing that. So appreciate that. Good luck to everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
We got one for the road here, Cardi. O'Hearn or Goodman on FanDuel?
O'Hearn.
All right. Thoughts on Cleveland 9-1-3? Wait a second. Hold on. Is that like saying, are we playing Bailey, Bazana, Rocchio? I mean, Cardi, I'm not doing that.
Probably not for me either.
The one team that a little wraparound is interesting is Pittsburgh, especially if Davis is in that lineup. So just keep that in the back of your mind.
Feel better about that when it's on the road. Like when you're at home, when you're in the 9 spot, sometimes you just get 3 at bats. When you're on, when you're on the road, especially in a good ballpark, top guys should get 5, and when you're hitting 9th, you should still get 4. So that's really not a big deal as far as your lineup order. I don't mind somebody Bazana. I guess will be my favorite Cleveland player if you're going to put me to it.
Easily.
But I don't think I'm ending up on any of them. Kindly hit that like button on your way out. Do you subscribe? Do you turn on those notifications? I got one more question for the road, Beer. Jay Sam in the Discord channel. FanDuel, large field, Gunnar, O'Hearn, or Goodman and Gonzalez. I assume that's Nick Gonzalez.
I'll say Gunnar and O'Hearn.
All righty. Hit the like button, subscribe. Back tomorrow. 2 more shows, early baseball, late baseball. Golf also is a thing. Check out we had STL Cards and Noto talking golf. I know Noto also did his show on his model. If you guys are playing golf this week, and I would also say pay attention to the weather because it's going to be windy. That's what I saw. All right. That was Derek Cardi. That was Beer. Shout out producer Steve. Steve, have yourself a good time. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the parade. Stay safe. Live it up.
Don't forget them phone books, Steve.
Good luck finding a phone book. That's a callback to yesterday's show. Go win something tonight. We're out of here. Out.